All right, Coach. Here we are, Hofstra, associate head coach, right?
Yep.
All right. So in the room where you cut your teeth as a collegiate wrestler, what's it like to be a coach where you actually wrestled?
It's really, honestly, a great honor. We actually had one of my former teammates actually on campus today. So it's funny when he just came back for the first time, and since pre-COVID. So it's been about 3 or 4 years since he's been in the room, and we were able to sit on the same mats that we both, beat each other up on and sweated on, and kind of go through the memories of what this room meant to us and the team, and the fun times that we had, the tough times that we had, all the adversity we went through. So, it's great to be able to do that for the kids that are coming through the program now. I have a little extra pride in, helping the kids out and saying, hey, listen, I was able to accomplish some of my goals at the same room in the same program. So I know what it took, and I know what kind of area we're in. I know what some of the issues that we have to fight through in a smaller program at times.
Mm-hmm.
So I can really give them firsthand what the experience is of wrestling at Hofstra, which is
Yeah,
nice.
you can talk straight to them.
Yep.
I mean, you guys are going to get a refresh.
Yep.
You're going to get an upgrade, but in a way, you almost don't want that to happen, right?
Yeah, for me, it's actually, when I was getting recruited here in high school, the room was just getting redone. So the room, I think, was redone in 2008. My senior year in high school was 2008, 2009. So when I actually came on my visit, the room wasn't the way it is now. I saw what the plans were for the room, but the room was not done yet. It was just about to be done the first time I got here. So it's actually, it was new then. I got to wrestle in a new room, and now it's nice that we're able to, it did well for us for a long time, and now it's great to be part of, our new project of, refreshing the room up and getting some new equipment and new mats and some new imaging on the wall and whatnot. So
Got a couple recruits here today. I know you're cycling some people through.
Yep.
What drew you to Hofstra, and are you able to say that same pitch to recruits? Is it different now, or?
Yeah, so for me, I grew up 60, 70 miles north of the university, but I didn't really know what Hofstra was at first. But there was a group of guys, and I got to catch a really good wave of Hofstra wrestling in the early 2006, 2007, when the program really started to make a lot of noise. And I had a couple, Long Island kids that I knew from being on national teams with that were wrestling here. Kids that I followed, as a young kid, I would look up to at the state tournament. We're on the team already, and we had a local kid, Lou Ruggiero, who was, one of our All-Americans, who was, ranked top in the country, ranked #1 in the country at one point in his career. And, I made sure I tuned into every one of his matches when I was in high school, and that really drove me to come to Hofstra. And, we had a great staff that got me here, and then also it's a great location, which I think is you can't beat, being so close to the beach and the city in the same park. But what really drove me here, like I said, besides the staff and the team, was just the location. I traveled around looking for schools, and the location was just perfect for me. You can get to everything you needed to in a short drive, or even get to the airport really easy. So, and then the location for the city was key as being a business major for myself.
Okay.
I always wanted to be into business. I figured why not be 25 minutes away, 25 miles away from the city.
Right. So obviously you're wrapping that into your recruiting pitch as you're out there trying to get kids to come in. I've seen Minnesota. I've seen I think I saw on the roster there was might have been a Washington.
Yeah, we have currently on our team right now. We have Washington on our team. We have California on our team. We have a couple of Illinois guys on our team.
Mm-hmm.
A Minnesota kid, a kid from Georgia, a kid from Florida. We have local kids from Long Island. We have kids from upstate that are 6 hours away from here. We have Jersey kids, Pennsylvania kids.
Right.
So we have kids from all over, and I think a lot of guys like the East Coast that are from the East Coast, and it's a good experience that they can get. And we have a unique thing for us is we've had a smaller roster. Our roster is getting bigger currently, and it's one of those things where you can get some real personal attention at a great program.
Yeah. So wrestling-wise, of course, but talk to me about the academic side of life here at Hofstra, as you got to experience it yourself.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things for me, I grew up for us, in New York, we were a pretty big school. We were about 600 to 700 on my graduating class, even though I was an upstate kid.
Wow.
Probably bigger than most Long Island schools, a lot bigger than most Long Island schools. But, you know, the classrooms were actually smaller, you know, for me, for the most part. You know, like a lot of our business classes were 20 people, 25, you know, our biggest class was 70 people, you know, so you're not going to get that huge experience of, I know a lot of kids struggle in a classroom of 300 or 500. So, you know, our classrooms and our teaching sizes are really small. A lot of our, like I said, a lot of our classes sometimes are 18 kids or less, which I think is key for a lot of kids for learning. You know, and we have almost every major out there, you know, between med school and business and pre-law and you know, teaching, education. We have a lot of phys ed majors and teachers, and then we have guys that, you know, a lot of guys that go into business school. You know?
Right.
So, but I think with the smaller classrooms, it helps big time. You know, we're still a good sized university with, you know, a little over 10,000, you know, students, but you get that small class feel, which I think helps the kids learn better, and also I think it also helps the kids, you know, make friends. You know, you're kind of, if you're in the same major, you're gonna kind of see those kids throughout your career at Hofstra as you're getting your degree. So it's always nice that you take a class and you're like, oh, I remember that kid from this class, and you become friendly with them, and you can help each other out. You know, and your group project makes the group projects a lot easier.
Yeah. So I come over from Big Ten country,
Yep.
right? And being in the state of Ohio, it's like Big Ten or bust. It's if you're not going to go to Ohio State, you definitely want to do Penn State. You
Yep.
want to go over to Illinois.
Yep.
You want to hit Indiana. These kids have no idea what kind of opportunity they have at a Division I wrestling school to put themselves on the mat. There's so much parity. You get to that next level, right?
Yeah.
Why not somebody from Hofstra be able to beat, you know, the Big Ten contender?
Yeah, I mean, you know, when we were here, we always had, you know, I felt like we always had a tough schedule. You know, we always wrestled the Big Tens. You know, our philosophy when I was an athlete here was we're going to wrestle the guys that we're going to see at the national tournament, right? You know, so we would fly out to Minnesota, go to Wisconsin, wrestle Rutgers. You know, always had Penn State on the schedule for a while, and then, you know, we always, you know, wrestled Cornell and stuff, which was the top program at the time as well. So, you know, for us, it was always wrestle the best guys. Get used to wrestling the guys that we have to beat at the national tournament, and our history has shown that we have done that, and we have beaten some of the best guys. And in our history, we have some guys that have knocked off plenty of 1 seeds at the national tournament.
Yep.
So, you know, the biggest thing I tell a lot of kids is you got to be the guy, right? It's great wrestling for, you know, Ohio State or Penn State, but you got to be the guy in the lineup, or you don't get to. You know, you don't get to show off your talent,
right?
If you're on the bench, and I think that's one of the things with a smaller roster. Sometimes that helps. That, you know, you get in, you get personal attention. And usually, if you're the guy, you're going to be the guy. You're doing all the right things. You're going to get on the mat with a lot of, you know, a lot of experience, and you know, you're going to be able to show your talents off as a starter, which I think is always key.
The opportunity that's at a smaller school like this, kids just don't understand that. They think they have to maybe go sit the bench for a year or two, and then, you know, the senior graduates, and then they might get their 1 or 2 shots. So the opportunity never ceases to amaze me. Talk to me about, you mentioned the city, you mentioned the beach. Talk to me about the social life here, what somebody's going to get as a student here.
Yeah, social life, I mean, listen, I was just telling one of the recruits actually on our way in, like, Long Island is a unique spot, because as you get away from the city, everyone thinks that we're in the city, and we're 25 miles out of the city, we're in the suburbs, so it's a totally different view. You know, as you leave the airport from JFK, LaGuardia, the neighborhoods change. Every 5 minutes as you drive, the neighborhoods change. You have diversity everywhere. You know, you have towns that are, you know, all different nationalities. You have, you know, the suburbs, you have the city life, you know, life right here, and then all of a sudden you keep going out east, and it opens up, and it's farmland, and it's country land, and it's then you get all the way out to the Hamptons. So you have all these different walks of life. I was telling one of the crews say throughout the island. You know, it's a long island, but it's very diverse, and you have everything that, you know, you can get. You know, where you have to travel really far from most places, they're all right here. You know, the city being 25 minutes away or so, and getting to the beach in 10 minutes. And then being able to, you know, go up to the North Shore and get a nice North Shore town feel is always nice. And then going out east, and you're on a farm, and there's hunting, and there's big farm life. It's always fun, and see the wilderness out there. It's it's crazy to think that you're only 30, 40 minutes away from campus sometimes when you're out east.
Yeah, it's totally different out. It's
Yeah.
beautiful, really.
Yeah.
It is. It wasn't what I expected as I was pulling in. It's
Yeah.
and why would anybody leave, right?
Yeah.
You got it
Yeah.
all here, right?
Yeah, listen, I'm an upstate kid, and been down here for 13 years now, and it's kind of like home now.
Okay.
So it is. A lot of people come, they have a hard time leaving sometimes. Usually if they're leaving, it's because of how expensive it gets eventually. But that's really it. It's a great spot because you can do there's something to do every which way you want to turn.
All right,
So,
Coach. I appreciate your time. You got anything else?
just I want you guys tuned in for next year. Get ready. We got a nice team coming out next year, and we're excited to see what our recruits and some of our returners have for next year.
All right. Thanks. Appreciate it.
No problem.